The MacBook Neo was just released and it sent every tech YouTuber on a spiral, calling this thing the best budget laptop out there. But with hundreds of different laptop models across so many different brands, is this really the best student laptop out there? The MacBook Neo was released on March 4th and it delivered something that Apple had never given us: a budget MacBook. Before the Neo, every other Mac out there was $1,000 plus. But due to cutting some corners on hardware, software, and pretty much everywhere else, they managed to produce a laptop that retailed for only $599 or $499 for students, which in this video is pretty important. Seeing as this video is all about students, from now on I'll refer to the price tag being $499 or just $500 to make things a little easier. Now, to know whether this is the best student laptop out there, we need to look at what a student actually does in their day-to-day, and we need to know what other options students have at around the same price tag to know whether the Neo is even competitive at all, specs-wise. So for what a student does, taking into account that I was a student not long ago myself, I'm gonna assume that being a student pretty much entails a lot of Google Chrome/Safari use, writing essays, browsing articles, doing exams, and the occasional YouTube or Netflix watching. I wouldn't assume that the most common student out there is gaming on their laptop, but that is something I'll address later on. And as for the other laptops out there around the $500 mark, what I decided to do here is something that I think every student out there would do. So I pretty much just asked ChatGPT, what's the best student laptop around $500? And I took that laptop as the base to compare it to what the Neo was actually offering us. So ChatGPT ended up answering pretty bluntly the Acer Aspire Go 15. So if you're a student in 2026 and you were looking to buy the best laptop your $500 could get you just a few months ago, you would have probably gotten the Acer Aspire Go 15. Now, I don't really want to make this a Windows versus Mac comparison video, nor is it an in-depth Acer Aspire versus MacBook Neo video. So to keep things simple, here's a ranking that I made on which one I believe to be better. And as you can see, it's a pretty easy win for the MacBook Neo. But that doesn't mean just yet that it's the best student laptop out there, because I don't think it's that easy. And there's also a lot of people out there that I don't think are meant to own the Neo, because the word student is still pretty vague and it encompasses many things. Now, the Neo is definitely one of the best laptops you can get for $500. There's no doubt about it, but it isn't meant for every student. Keep in mind that when buying a laptop, a device that's going to last you years, you have to think about how your own life is going to change in the future, not just how it looks right now. If you're a student near the end of high school, think about what you want to study in college. I know that there are degrees out there that require you to either have a Windows laptop because you have to download apps that are simply optimized for Windows, or degrees that require you to have a laptop with enough power to run those apps, even if it isn't a Windows one. If that's the case, the Neo might be amazing right now while you're in school, but the second you enter college, it might become useless in only your first week of classes. Also, keep in mind that we currently exist in the era of social media, where pretty much everybody out there, myself included, likes content creation and would love to do it full time. And I can also say from personal experience that when I was 18, I hadn't ever thought about creating a YouTube channel, but fast forward just a few years, and here I am. I edit my content on my MacBook Air M2, and just running CapCut can make the entire laptop pretty slow or laggy. So if my M2 MacBook is struggling to edit video, I'm sure that the Neo on an A18 Pro chip will do too. You might not be a content creator now, but never say never. Content creation now is extremely common, and if you don't have a laptop to edit on, it's going to limit you pretty heavily from doing something you might end up liking. Apart from those two reasons, I also feel that the MacBook Neo is a pretty one-dimensional machine, and if you're looking for something that can help you game, as well as edit photo or video, and also be perfectly portable and good at doing basic tasks, this thing isn't for you. If your job mainly requires you to be on Excel all day and just talk to colleagues on different apps, then you become the right person for the Neo. The Neo is meant to accompany you on the journey you have now, not necessarily grow with you, your work, or your degree. Because although now this chip works pretty good, it's still a chip that was released in 2024, over 2 years ago. So in a few years, when you're a little older and the chip is now 5+ years old, do you think you'll still be requiring the same basic tasks from it that you did when you were 18? I'll leave that for you guys to answer. If you're a basic use student, the Neo might actually be the best laptop for you. If your life is essays, Chrome tabs, Netflix, Netflix, portability, battery life, and you just want something simple that feels premium, then yeah, the Neo probably is the best laptop for your use case. But if you're a student going into engineering, architecture, coding with specific programs, gaming, or even content creation, then I don't think this is the best student laptop, because the second you start downloading some more intensive apps for your degree or just for fun, the Neo is going to feel pretty limiting pretty fast. In that case, the better laptop might actually be a Windows machine, even if on paper it feels less exciting, or maybe just a higher end model of MacBook, one with the M1 or M2 chips. So the real answer is this. The MacBook Neo might be the best laptop for the average student, but not for the student who needs their laptop to grow with them. If you liked this video, please leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and leave a comment with anything you'd like me to mention, review, or comment on in the next video. I did also just make another video on the MacBook Neo, which I'll have linked at the end of this one in case you're interested. I thank you all so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.